When you guys, if you go to Asia or you go to other countries and you try the ketchup at McDonald's, it ain't the same.
True.
It will make you
ketchup.
appreciate the ketchup in America. Different tomatoes, different packaging. I don't know what, different water. I don't know what it is, but it ain't the same.
So wait, are we
So bring your own ketchup. You go overseas and you plan on eating McDonald's.
All right, here we go.
All right. I'm not even taking the pickles. I'm just gonna go for it.
Wow.
Oh man.
Man.
I'll tell you one thing. Travis got everybody eating McDonald's again.
Right?
That's terrible.
Right.
That's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
That burger patty is very
That'll sound like you're being tortured right now.
regrettable. I'm gonna take a second bite.
I'm going to eat the whole thing.
I'm gonna smack these fries, but I'm good on the burger. I appreciate you, though, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mike. Thank you very much.
Doing the trip.
It's market research.
Yeah, market research, and I took it out of our expense sheet.
We pay for this
Damn
shit?
it. God damn it.
Wait a
I want a
minute.
refund.
Give it back.
Yeah, I can't eat that burger. Maybe I'll look at
DJ Rob.
Yeah, we're here.
You sit here first, man.
I'm eating.
We ate it here first. You see the hype
You
outside?
feel hype? You know
Yo.
the fucking vibes.
I will smack a McDonald's fountain drink though. Something about they put something in their Coke and Sprite. Look at that. Look at
That's how you know I haven't had soda in a while. That shit hit different. That shit like just,
Make it look like a
eats you
tequila
up.
shot.
That shit just it just eats you up right in that moment. Yeah.
What would you rather have? A shot of tequila or a whole soda?
A whole soda.
Wow.
A whole soda.
20 ounce, 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nah, the big jug.
Huh?
The big jug from
He had to
7-Eleven.
choose. He had to choose like a
Oh
2
my
liter,
God.
2 liter.
a 2 liter or a shot of tequila.
Yo, you know the soda game
Shot
is
of
fucked
tequila.
up when the 2 liter is only 30 cents more than the 1 liter,
Man, they
and the
be
1
fucking
liter
you.
is only 10 cents more than the 20 ounce.
That's how they get you.
They be
That's how
upselling the
they
shit
get
out of
you.
you. This carbonated hell.
You do the same thing at Jamba Juice.
Do they?
Like 30 cents more for the biggest one. Something like that.
Sometimes they give it to you without even asking for it.
Man.
Oh,
Drink
Jamba?
it. Yeah.
What are you ordering?
That's because they run out of cup.
If you get the creatine expands in the drink, so they have to give it to you in a second cup.
Look, when I asked for tea at Starbucks and they're like, for 30 cents more, sir, you could have a Trenta. I'm like, bitch, I'm watching my calories.
Yeah. Trying to get me to turn up.
It ain't about the 30 cents. Anyway, welcome back to the MikiDz Podcast.
Get my
Episode 63. And
Is it
it's
63 already?
yeah, it's good to be back.
There is.
Shout out to DJ Vice
Yeah. That was a
for
fun
the advice.
down.
And we're here getting our legs under us, the steam in the streams. And
Oh, did you come up with the we didn't go over a Twitch and Rel. Did you have one?
Oh yeah, I got
You
one.
got one? Okay.
you got one? Okay.
All right.
Because I want to put in a bonus question.
Okay.
Okay.
Fantastic.
You know how it goes on Twitch and Morel. We welcome to all questions.
Facts. But
Safe space.
yeah, welcome back.
Stomach is bubbling.
There it is.
You
said not to eat before we came, but I had a little something because I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yo, I don't
I
blame
thought we
you.
were getting wings.
Because I already knew.
I had ground turkey and salad.
Okay. Well, balance.
Yeah.
Talking
I
about
was like, I don't know
balance.
what I'm getting into, but I want to be prepared.
It's okay. Sean will smack his burger happily.
I'll probably end up finishing. I don't like seeing food go to waste,
Yeah, I don't want food to go to waste. We'll probably eat
except
some later.
if the fries are cold.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
difficult
gotta-
options here.
Fries
It's
cold.
got to let some soldiers go.
I think fries cold is probably my top 3 worst things of all time. Like
and you
shit.
can't reheat it.
I can't. You cannot reheat
Hold on.
fried.
There's a thing my aunt had. It's like a
Air fryer.
It might be that.
I have that.
You just throw them in there.
Air fryer, yeah, I can see. I have one at home. I never thought of. Well, we don't eat fries, but I never thought of using it to reheat fries.
Right. I've never thought of that either, to do that. But
Yeah.
you know, I just started doing for like sandwiches. Shout out to DJ Marvel. We had a little FaceTime meeting today, and he started making a sandwich for his kid and himself. And I was like, great idea. I'll make a sandwich too. And it's like we had lunch together. But I just started because I had these like the cold cheese from like Whole Foods.
Yeah.
And something's like rock hard. Like you don't really want a rock hard, like not rock hard, but like a hard pause, a hard piece of cheese in the middle of your sandwich.
Yeah.
So quick little 5 seconds in the microwave.
Of course.
So it's still manageable.
Yeah.
But it gives a little, melty cheese.
Sam be reheating brownies and like pastries
Really?
in the microwave for like 10 seconds.
That's a Latino move for sure.
It
I do that.
works.
I'll
though.
do that
I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Brownies,
something I never did. So when
cookies,
she started doing it, I was like,
Cookies.
yeah.
something warm, nigga, like
Yeah.
wifey will bake some cookies, and I'll be like, all right, ready. She's like, you gotta let them cool down. I'm like, nah,
Nah, they were.
I need them shits right out the oven.
Yeah.
Burn the top.
I need that.
Yeah.
I need that shit.
Yeah, I had no idea as you put Pop-Tarts into a toaster even. Like, I always knew them as a cold pastry. Like, you just eat
Really?
them straight up. I had no idea that
I
was
always
something.
enjoyed the crunch in the Pop-Tart after pulling it out of the toaster.
Man,
You're missing out.
No, you eating cold, bro.
I want.
Brown cinnamon.
Oh, well, I mean,
Brown
you
sugar
can.
cinnamon. Brown sugar cinnamon, look. Listen.
but brown cinnamon sugar with warmed up with
Yeah.
the.
Change your life.
Oh Lord Jesus!
Anyway, what are we starting out with today, Joe? What are
We got a new segment. We're gonna have some fun with this one. I think we're gonna have some fun with this one, and we're calling it Pick One. We're gonna come up with a list of
Excuse
things.
me. Sorry. Hey, don't blame me, man.
This might be a clip. Let's do this clean. Let's get through this because it might be a
That was
clip.
perfect
He
for the
said,
clip.
don't blame me, but he said, excuse me.
Yeah, right. It's very presidential, at least in this presidential times. So new segments called Pick One. We're going to have a list of 3 or 4 things, and one's got to go. And you have to obviously support your argument on why that thing's got to go.
Right.
So we have 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s music. One's got to go.
Wait, music or your crate to DJ?
Let's go crate.
Crate?
Yeah, let's go crate.
Your crate. So your 70s crate, your 80s crate. Your
I'm
90s
getting rid
crate.
of my 80s
Oh, yeah,
crate.
80s got to go. I
Why?
agree.
Deleted.
Why?
I don't know. 70s has
I'm never-
soul, disco.
Yeah, I'm never sitting in that 80s crate for too long.
Right.
You could come over to me and say, we need 70s for the next hour. Oh, for a great example,
There you go.
when we used to do the cruise ships,
Right.
right? And they would have your 70s night, they would have your 80s night, right? Which night did you enjoy the most?
Yeah.
70s.
Yeah. Say 80s was not it. It was about 20 minutes into it, and I was like, you know what? I'm good now.
I'm glad we answered. We got specific on that, but I think it's kind of unfair since no one really plays 80s, and especially you two. So
What?
because you guys don't play 80s.
Feels a little racist.
No, I mean I don't play 80s either.
You got the 80s hair.
So that's true.
You made a whole 80s set.
So let's just say non-DJ related, no crates, just 70s, 80s,
Listening
90s,
pleasures?
or 2000s. Yeah,
Listening pleasures?
Still taking out the 80s.
Well,
What are we talking about?
I'm getting rid of the 2000s.
Why?
Because to your points of the 70s, I think that was like the soul in the 70s can't be replaced. I think the 80s is important because it was extremely experimental. Think of all the things that came and went in
Yeah,
the 80s.
came
the
and went.
introduction of the drum, but then eventually reused again. But you think about the drum machine. You think about the introduction. I know Prince came out around 78 or 79, but he really hit his stride in the early 80s. Then you got Michael, and there was I used to, like, when I was young, I used to say the 80s was the worst, or was bad, or was just like all these bad things.
We were all created in the 80s.
But the things that they tried out and the things they came up with, and just the styles. I mean, think about how many times have you seen someone fashion-wise dip into the 80s to look a certain way, or like, and I know this is just one example, but Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, that just shot back up because of MTV's, but that's an 80s inspired song. So you also get NWA. You get you get like hip hop coming out of its shell. And all the samples you get from the 80s as well. So
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I'm not saying that. Yes, there would be a lot of music in the 80s that we would miss.
Mhm.
Of course, 100%.
You can match up whoever from the 2000s against someone equal to them, and I'll probably pick the 80s.
And I'm not going to argue with you that. I'm
Yeah.
saying if we had to make a personal choice to get rid of one decade of music,
All right.
personal choice, that would be it.
Mhm.
The reason why I can't agree with you on the 2000s is because we came up on that. That's our music. When we're 40, 50 years old, 90s and 2000s are going to be our shit.
Yep.
Like that's us. That's what we came up. Not only did we create DJ careers out of playing 80% of 2000s music, you know what I'm saying? You can't let that go. Like
Another reason why I'm getting rid of the 2000s is because there were a lot of one-hit wonders, and it was focused on trying to chase that hit. And
I think you can
make
argue
the same
the same
argument
argument
about
for
the
80s.
80s.
hold on. And
That's a throw
it
prize.
was also the ringtone era, which
that
didn't.
shit was popping.
No,
It was hot.
no, the ringtone era, making music specifically for ringtones, not to just be like because it's dope or for all these reasons why we enjoy making music or we enjoy listening to music. It was like once the 2000s realized how many different ways they can make money, which is great. I ain't trying to take money out of anybody's pockets, but it was all done for all the wrong reasons. Not all, but there were a lot of wrong reasons in why they made some of the music. I remember watching, obviously Lil Jon's a friend of ours, but I remember watching him on something like, I don't know, something like, I was in the airport and I think it was on something like CNN, and he said, I make music to sell ringtones. And as a hip hop purist at the time, that didn't sit right with me. I'm like, what?
That's
What
a
are you
different
talking about?
time. Like
I know, and that's why I don't care for it.
Music.
Okay, sure. That's how you can feel. That's why we feel the way in regards to the 2000s. End of the day, if you think about it, when we first started DJing in 2005, right? Consensus, like 2004, 2005,
Yeah.
right? And we were going out to different clubs or parties, and just as a spectator, maybe not as a working DJ, what was really hot? 80s parties, right? And then as we got older, what happened the last decade or so? 90s parties. Right now, where I would argue that we're either near or at our peak of our DJ careers, obviously a little different due to what's going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But in regards to our knowledge, how far we've come, the music we know, like this is the time for the 2000s. And we saw that as we were leading, before we led into this stoppage of everything. You saw a bunch of 2000s parties. And people still held on to the 90s and whatever else, but really it was 2000s. And when we say 2000s, we're talking about that 2010, because that 2010 and 2020 is a different era.
Yeah, that's a whole different era. A whole different era.
That's the 10s.
Yeah, and to your point of what you said about they were doing the same in the 80s, I think when they were trying to, whatever those one hits were, the way I perceive that is not so much chasing. I mean, yeah, it's chasing the money because you're trying to find a hit, but I feel like there was more soul and more there's just something like that can't be calculated put into the music, as opposed to the 2000s where the execs were on a whole nother level. Like let's chase money, fuck these rappers, or artists. Let's just get that one hit,
Because
and
the
then move
overhead
on to
was
the next
different.
guy.
The overhead was different. In the
Yeah,
2000s,
and I get that.
you
It's a
can
whole different business
you can
scheme in the
record.
2000s.
Yeah, in the 80s, you needed to go through a cosign and a producer and jump through hoops, and you wouldn't even see a record deal. You couldn't record something and put it on vinyl because that was the only way you could do it, versus 2000s.
But that's how good it had to be to get on a vinyl. And
That's not always true either. There's definitely a lot of shit pressed in the 80s and 70s.
No, you can create. Every decade has its failures, but in order to get
I don't
that
know about
record
the
deal
90s.
they were there. Not probably not as much because again in the 80s were experimental, and on a business side, the 2000s were experimental on a business side, trying to chase the check.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just
you can make
okay.
that
So we
argument.
know where we're at.
Yeah.
Okay, second one. One gotta go. Pharrell, Timbaland, or Kanye?
One's gotta go.
One gotta go.
Like
This
we
is
didn't
so
get
difficult.
when you say that, like no production from them, no, nothing
Nah,
for them.
as if they never existed. Like just disappearing from all the pictures, that disappearing from Instagram, the music
me,
gone.
Personally, it would probably have to be Ye. It's a
Mm,
hard choice
why?
for me to say, but I would.
No, none of these are easy.
Yeah.
This isn't fun. You think this is fun?
Why are we doing this?
Yeah, why are we
I'm gonna eat one more French fry. I'm stressing out.
I would just. I grew up a huge Timbaland fan. You know what I mean? Like we going back to our last conversation about like the era of the '90s and stuff like that. Timbaland coming up with, Missy, Magoo, Aaliyah, doing all that shit. Like that was my shit. I was all into that. I was heavy into that. Even when, the earlier Justin Timberlake days, like that Justify album,
Yeah.
you could put that in my top 10 favorite albums of all
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean? So it's just, and I get that. Oh no, you said Kanye, not Pharrell. Never mind. Don't get me wrong. Kanye's great. I love Kanye.
What about Pharrell makes you want to keep Kanye? I mean, what about Pharrell makes you want to get rid of Kanye?
You mean Timbaland?
Oh, you're getting rid of Timbaland or Kanye?
No, Kanye. You said what about Pharrell though?
Yeah, but there has to
'cause
be
Pharrell's the
something
other
about
option.
because Pharrell. So why?
Why do you pick Pharrell over Kanye?
Yeah, why are you picking Pharrell over Kanye?
You said Timbaland or Kanye?
No, you said Timbaland, Pharrell, or Kanye.
No, he only said Timbaland and Kanye, right?
No, he
So
said
three.
Pharrell. Oh, you thought he said Rel.
Oh,
Yeah, he said
I thought you
Pharrell.
said
Pharrell
So
in the house.
Pharrell.
So
I thought
Pharrell.
you said Pharrell. I thought you said so Pharrell.
Yeah.
What you call it? See? Confusing, man. Listen. Oh,
One gotta go.
Hey,
Pharrell,
DJ Row, welcome to the podcast.
hey, man, listen.
Pharrell,
It's been one of them
Timbaland.
days.
Give
Pharrell,
the man his drink.
and one
Or
of them's
Kanye.
got to go. Still Kanye.
Okay,
Still
so
Kanye.
what makes it? What keeps
Pharrell
Pharrell
is the
around?
fucking GOAT, bro. Like, what are we
Yeah.
talking about, man? Like, Pharrell can't be touched. But if you ask me, even if you ask me between Pharrell and Timbaland, I'm still gonna pick Timbaland, even though I praise Pharrell. But it's just,
So he gave us a whole
both
ranking
cut from the
system.
same cloth.
this is what it is. It's my opinion. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot.
I mean, it's hard for me to say yay, but I think out of those three, it would be yay.
Oh my god,
What?
you're like the biggest.
I
Ye
did not
fan.
see that coming.
Yeah.
I for sure thought you was gonna say Timbaland.
Yeah. I mean, I could lean that way, but then if you really think about it, like, is there a Pharrell without a Timbo, or like, vice versa, like the way they fed off each other, came from the same region, and like really like how hip hop evolved. And
Well,
pop
Pharrell
music
came before
I should say.
Timbaland.
Yeah, well, that whole like area, right? But like they eventually worked together in different facets and different things like that. And I think there was something just in VA that came from the water, which is
They was
The same school,
Pun intended,
like all of them.
right?
And I think Boyz II Men went to the same school as them as well.
They was
Obviously,
passing
different
artists around like peace pipes, man.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there was one point in time in the early 2000s that there wasn't a record out or album out that Pharrell and Timbaland both weren't on.
time. Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy.
yeah.
What
I
about
think Pharrell's got to go.
you saying Pharrell's got to go out of those
Pharrell's
three?
got to go.
wow.
I
didn't
think
see that for me.
Timbaland is. I think you need Timbaland around because his production and what he did for Aaliyah, Missy, and Genuine, that little camp that he had. I think it's so significant in this culture because it was so different. The samples he were using were weird and different, and he was still able to make it pop and become number ones. And whatever he did, like he can give you some hard drums and give you something tough for hip hop, and he can smooth it out and give you what he did for Aaliyah, and then he'll give you the pop. And obviously, all three of them can do that. But I think he's important if we're talking about the culture of hip hop because he gave you something different outside of just samples from the 70s or 60s or wherever the producers were typically pulling out of.
So it's funny to hear you say that specific thing about the samples and stuff like that and choose Kanye over Pharrell. But
Yeah.
continue.
So, and I was about to say, Pharrell, if I were to juxtapose their styles and production and shifting the culture and there's so many things you can put together against each other. I think Kanye stands out more. I think Pharrell had obviously an enormous amount of hits, but I don't think I don't think there was not as much game changing as what Kanye did. Like what Kanye did from a production side was the whole Chipmunk and the whole Chipmunk soul. Now I don't know if that was him at first or if it was the producers for the Dipset. What are they called? Heat makers. I don't know who did it first, or even Just Blaze is thrown in there. But he took that and made it a thing, right? And he continued to evolve, and then My Beautiful Twisted, and then he just continued to evolve up until a certain point, I think. But to me, that is more impactful than all the hits that Pharrell, like a Scott Storch put out a bunch of hits, but did he really change anything? Like we had this conversation before. So yeah, my two picks are the guys that stick around, are the guys that I think are significant for the culture.
I agree with you with Kanye shifting the sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can remember, just for the sake of like specifics, right? Like when Power came out and A-Track was like bigging it up like crazy. And everybody was sitting there like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, what is this, right?
Not only Power, but the other single.
Yeah.
With the Daft Punk sample, Stronger.
Right. And so, which was probably heavily influenced from A-Track. And what it feels like, Kanye's always been that guy to like hear something and kind of like ride with it, right? Like you can argue College Dropout, given I think he gets a little more credit as an individual for that sound, and as well as Late Registration. But then you get to Graduation, then he's starting to put that Daft Punk electronic world coming in. Then you get Yeezus, which was more Travis Scottish, and you have Kid Cudi that was more the influence for 808s. And like he kind of like took these different elements that from people around him and put them at the forefront, and then it shifted to put those people on.
3 times he shifted the culture.
Yeah.
His first 2 albums, then he shifted it again with Power and Stronger. Because remember how big of an influence Stronger was once people figured it out.
I'd argue it was more.
I'll never forget Styles Davis telling me the story of when he used to have a residency as QC's 2020. He played Stronger when it first came out, and it cleared the floor.
Of course.
And it took a long time for people to get that. And once they got it, now you can play it and the floor will be packed. And then after that was My Beautiful Twisted. And then obviously what came after that was Watch the Throne. And then just that whole movement of music that he was putting out for other artists as well. Like to me, that's 3 times that he had created like a small percentage of a shift in the production game and culture.
But I'd argue it's more because, and I'm not saying that you're not saying that, but like with College Dropout and Late Registration, guys like Mos Def, Common, Talib were able to put out records around that. And people were okay with listening to that and at a different level rap, because it was around there, right? And then when he puts out Graduation, then you start to see all these other electronic artists coming out, MGMT and all these other guys, that whole Justice, that whole era, the hipster era kind of coming up. And then, even though Kid Cudi was I think, was it before 808s?
808.
But like 808s when it first came out.
I want to say Kid Cudi inspired 808s.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Like that's 100%. He's all over it. But what I'm saying is it also elevated that sound and that way for people to follow. Same with Yeezus. If you go back, I remember listening to Yeezus the first time. I was like, oh, this is aggressive. But I could go back to it now and be like, oh, this is like actually tame compared to what we've heard now.
The birth of Travis Scott.
I think Kanye has always been ahead of been ahead of the times. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, it's going to take time for people to really hone in. 808s, nobody was fucking with that when that shit dropped. Yeah. Now everybody loves it all of a sudden. Yeah. Same thing. You can make the argument the same thing with Yeezus. Yeah, you could. But if you knew what he was going through at that time, you could relate or a little bit, whatever. But
ultimately, Pharrell and Timbo do have the
Pharrell's
wider
range.
Yeah, it's range.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
I think that's what kind of gives him the edge over Kanye. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Because you say that.
Yeah, I want to hear a little bit of Sean on this.
Kanye changes the sound in this genre of hip hop.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like how many pop stars has he worked with, or you know what I mean? Outside of this stuff, as many as someone like a Pharrell or a Timbaland has touched, and I mean hits, not just like we worked on this track and it's on the album, it's a B-side track or whatever, like fucking hits with Gwen Stefani or Justin Timberlake or you know what I'm saying, so on and so on.
He got those.
Who does?
And I was gonna say Kanye does.
I'm not saying Kanye doesn't at all.
But my other point is it's funny that you're arguing so much, but you chose to not.
Because ultimately, I said because of the range. I understand the influence.
So, but to Joe's point, because did you keep Kanye or did you?
He got Kanye.
He got rid of Pharrell.
Okay, because I was gonna say to your point about hit making and what you were saying, it's like he could have done that. Like he has Toxic with Britney Spears. That's a huge record.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he wanted to do it, I'm sure he could. He might not have had no interest in that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even, to my knowledge, he didn't even like Gold Digger, but he knew that was an opportunity to make some money and create what he has now. But no, there's no denying Pharrell can go from creating the definition of a word in grinding, making a big deal about that one word, and then go play some bongos for Justin Timberlake and put out a hit with him. Like, that's crazy range, without a doubt.
For sure.
And yeah, you can argue that Pharrell has more range than even Timbaland because of the Gwens and who he's worked with. And I know Timbaland has worked with pop stars as well.
Nelly Furtado and all
But
that.
yeah, it's like pound for pound, it's.
Yeah, I mean, Sean, who would you take out?
I would say Pharrell. As much as I don't want to, but I'm gonna tell you the only reason why is because Pharrell solo is not as good as Pharrell in the Neptunes. With Chad,
Yeah.
we talking a whole different
I
situation.
mean, yeah.
I know Pharrell solo, I feel like there's more marketing behind it than
it's
actual like.
it's a lot of plagiarism. It's a lot. If we want to be real, a lot of claims of plagiarism when it's Pharrell solo. Pharrell with Chad, you get grinding. You get hit different.
Yeah.
The one he just dropped with SZA, like you get different sounds.
Yeah.
That stuff that you want to hear, innovative stuff.
Right.
I mean, so that's why. That's
well, the
my
Neptunes
argument.
were ahead of their time.
Yeah,
Wait,
and I think the
that's
Neptunes
way-
adapted a sound, and you got used to that. So when Pharrell stepped away from it and did his own shit, I think you were comparing it. There's a comparison there, and you being like, "That's not the same shit."
Nah,
When you with Chad, and like,
He's just lazy.
I mean, that's
you
probably
play-
what that he
you
probably
play-
He
played
was
play
from
Neon
Virginia
Guts.
once.
Play
I say Lee's
Neon
Virginia.
Guts. Play Neon Guts, and then play what's the Jay-Z track with Beyonce, the one that you always play. It's similar. It's the same as Neon Guts. It's the same beat.
Yeah.
It's the same beat.
Yeah.
I'm like, Pharrell, come on, my G, come on.
If it worked, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
All right,
I mean,
sure,
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Well, he's a multi-billion-dollar selling artist. We're here sitting talking to each other with
I watched
probably a couple hundred people
his
listening.
deposition. I watched his deposition when he got in trouble with that whole Marvin Gaye thing. It was
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
rough.
It was pretty bad.
rough.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
All right.
All right. And our last one gotta go. Pasta, tacos, or pho. Come on, Mike. Give it to us.
We talking about this?
Come on, Mike.
Tacos or fuck guy to get up out of
No,
here.
no,
Yeah, fuzz
no
outta here.
cultures are being offended. We're not
Fuzz
here
outta
to
here.
I love
offend
pho,
any.
but
It's gone.
I'm not giving up tacos or pasta. You
Hell
crazy.
no.
Mm,
My wife would kill me if I said I don't want pasta no more.
mm. So people's
Yeah.
lives are on the line
You gotta get rid of.
over this.
You gotta get rid of pho. Unfortunately, fuck
Yeah, pho is a really,
What did you really
good
want to say?
Right.
pasta.
Yeah,
Give a fuck?
No, look, if you know pho, man, it's got to be one of your go-tos, or it's something you think about at the end of a club night or something.
Well, because pho's a dish. Pasta's a whole fucking like thing. Like
Pasta's
there's
a-
fusilli, there's spaghetti, there's fettuccine, there's fucking
Pho is a unique
You know pasta
experience.
very well. For instance, for
Somebody
you,
that don't
yeah.
like it.
Look at me.
that's why he loves pho right now.
White sauce, red sauce,
Look,
pink
man.
sauce, vodka sauce. Good lord.
Man.
Anytime I get the opportunity, pho, I'm with it.
Bolognese.
Mamma mia.
Oh, yeah.
Pho is one of those dishes that I don't eat with wifey. She's not a huge fan of it. She'll tolerate
Because
it.
it's in direct competition with
tolerate
pasta.
It's a different kind of
She
noodle.
doesn't want to feed that.
I think she's more of a ramen person than pho.
Okay, ramen or pho?
Pho.
I don't
Wait,
know. Ramen.
Wait, what are
Ramen
you eating?
versus pho.
What are you eating? What are you eating or what do you get rid of?
What are you getting rid of, ramen or pho?
Oh, ramen.
Oh, I'm getting rid of ramen.
Yeah, I don't like the the.
I'm gonna tell you
taste
right
on
now.
my-
There's only one
texture
good.
on my tongue.
There's outside of like Japan, like going like actually eating like ramen. Oh, the one spot that's bomb is damn it, it's in
Tatsu?
New York.
Oh,
Fuck, Ichiran.
I never had it.
I'll only have I only have ramen there, or Silver Lake Ramen that's in LA. Any other ramen, no disrespect, but all disrespect. I'd rather eat Top Ramen.
Respectfully. He said, I'd rather eat Top Ramen.
I'll shove up some Top Ramen.
Hey, some Top Ramen with the dab of sour cream.
You know,
Chicken or beef?
I've never had bad.
You ever had that?
Shrimp flavor.
You ever put a dab of sour cream in your Top Ramen?
Nah.
That's different.
Bro.
I don't. What's the?
That's a Hispanic thing.
Okay,
Huh?
no.
It's gotta be.
First of all, listen here. Let me put y'all on game. Okay, I've been sitting on this one for a while. When Don Ramon would come home from late night, and we all respect Don Ramon around
Yes,
here.
we do.
That's right, Senor. Right. He'd come home, do the Top Ramen shit, and then he would put an egg in his, and then you'd cook up a weenie, and then cut it up.
A hot dog?
And then that's a hot dog, yeah. And is that what it is? A hot dog.
I'll be sure.
Yeah, you eat a hot dog, and then chop it up, and then that was your protein in the ramen,
Sure.
and then a dab of sour cream. And if you've ever had ramen at a Japanese spot, there's different kinds. Tonkatsu is like the most popular kind, I think, where it's like a pork broth, but it's creamy. And so that dab of sour cream turns it into that creamy broth. And so that's where it looks like that. So
Makes sense.
y'all ever want a little,
An authentic feel.
Yeah, don't eat next week. I'll bring you guys some ramen.
I'll smack that shit.
Yo.
If it's still hot, yeah.
Oh, no, I'll cook it here. We'll make it live on the show.
Hey, let's go.
Y'all trust me, right? All right, cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, that ends
That was
that
pretty
segment.
quick.
That was good.
Fuck
That
out
was
of
fun.
here.
Yeah, we still got.
Fuck.
It's really
outta here.
33 minutes on that. We
Oh,
started
God,
like 10
I was
minutes.
about to say, good Lord.
No. That's technically 33.
What a new segment.
Yeah. So, all right. We will not be getting rid of any of the next things we talk about. Beatsource linking with Serato.
Major.
Big.
Big moves, man.
We combed over it last week with Vice. But I mean, shit. What's the impact of this with the DJ community?
Man, huge, bro.
Game
Like
changer,
this is going to
man.
be crazy. Beatsource DJcity always been ahead of the curve, man. And now they had their foot on a lot of people's necks. Now they just stomping motherfuckers out with this next move. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, if you guys ever checked out the playlist, they have obviously they have a multiple playlists, but they have like because they're really focused on the next generation of DJs, which is great. That's something we talked about on this culture where the OGs always talking shit to the younger generation. Well, shit, help them out. You know, say something that's going to encourage them or guide them in the right direction. Well, here is DJcity Beatsource with in their playlist with tutorials like how to DJ 101, and you know, because you want to set the next wave up correctly going into the club and doing what they're going to do if they're going to keep up. But yeah, I think this is one thing that they pointed out within the meeting that we all had on Zoom. You can't record, and you can hit record on Serato and record that way. If you're using Beatsource tracks, you can't record. You have to record into your Ableton or Audacity or something else.
Through the output.
Yeah. So just for those that are plan on recording. But yeah, the playlists are great. You may or may not see a MikiDz playlist in there sometime soon. Yeah, anything else to add to this?
I mean, in its simplest form, pretend Spotify existed in your Serato. Like all your playlists, all the things you want to organize. And I know there's an app that actually will import your playlist from Spotify into Beatsource in case you wanted to do that. But it is, the ability to just being able to stream music and not have to put all that, space in your hard drive to be taken up. It's really ahead of what we're all ready for, maybe. Yeah. And I think, but it is the future. So it's exciting to see where this company as a whole is headed, and, future's bright.
When top Wi-Fi is like available everywhere,
right,
it's going to crush.
Yeah, but I think once they get the locker, and this really comes, the beta's out now. You can test it, check it out.
Yeah, go check that out.
There's been no crashes as of yet. I haven't heard anything, but this will officially come out in October. And they will create a locker, so all the songs that you want, that you think you're going to use, you think you may or may not use, you can store them
in case it goes offline.
just for guys that still don't get it, look at it like this. We had started off with record, and we used to bring 5-10 crates to the gig just in case we were going to play that one James Brown song or just something like that. And then we evolved to Serato. Now you're still carrying music in the sense that you have to download, and now you need to make sure your internal memory has enough space. Right. You have the proper amount of megabytes and gigabytes. Now moving forward with Beatsource, you don't have to download these songs, so you don't have to worry about filling up your laptop and then having to update or getting rid of stuff and deleting. It all exists on the interwebs, so you can pull from there. And at some point, Beatsource will have and all the songs on Beatsource are all catered to DJing. It's not like it's track 7 that only got 100 streams that's on there that you got to sort through. Everything that they have on there is playable, or you will probably use in a club. And another thing, they're not gonna, if you go to iTunes and you search a pop song, I Got a Feeling by whatever, Black Eyed Peas, you'll probably find the karaoke version, and then you're gonna find this guy's version, and there's like a ton of different versions. Well, you don't have to sort through all that. You can just go straight to the Black Eyed Peas version and play that.
Well, and sorry to cut you off, but like the benefits, if you think about it, I'll give you an example. Like back when I would do a mobile gig, and you were preparing for a wedding, and like I wouldn't carry around wedding cocktail music in my Serato when I'm gigging out at the nightclub all the time. I'd carry that on an external hard drive so that when I do a mobile gig, I could plug that in and I'll have that there. The benefit here is now, just like in our Dropbox, I don't need 3 gigabytes of our podcast video in my hard drive at all times to have access to, right? I just need that access when it's on the cloud. And so you now have this ability of having, because I don't think we're ever going to get rid of our own libraries, right?
I'm sure we'll still build because it's like just cool to have.
Yeah, it's who we are, right? Yeah. And if you don't have an OnlyFans account to Danger Zone's OnlyFans, you can't get his exclusive remixes, right? So
we got them,
and it won't be on any DSPs, so you got to download it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have things like that are exclusive, and but this is being built to supplement your full library for the just in case, or I forgot to download, or it's all real time.
Look, in about 5 years or less, everything's going to be different, and you'll probably only be able to use Beatsource because they have the proper licensing and all that moving forward. But one thing they are working on is creating intro outros for all these songs, because really what you see right now is just songs that's given to them by the label.
Yeah.
And at some point, they're going to have to figure out, they will figure out a way to, all the remixes you see on DJcity, they're going to figure out a way to get that on Beatsource, and so that the artist is still compensated. Because that's the thing with Beatsource, is the artist gets compensated for every time you stream it. It's recorded, it's documented. So next time you hook up to the Wi-Fi, that will go in the records and under Beatsource, and Beatsource will pay out the artist.
Yep.
So big moves moving forward, different sandbox.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Big Sean.
Boy.
How we feeling about the album?
I thought the album was dope.
Yeah. Well,
album's fire. I think the album is fire. Andre and I were talking, and we were talking about it, and I said, what did they say on the JVP? It doesn't have very good. I don't think it has replay value. I don't think a month or two from now we're gonna be listening to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm comparing it to something that recently came out, like the Nas album. I'm gonna be listening to the Nas album in 3 months.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just, it seemed, because to me, there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it doesn't blend, for layman terms, doesn't blend well enough. It seems like it was a bunch of tracks that he was working on the last couple of years,
right,
and he threw it on the album. You know what I mean? And I get that a lot of the tracks he's expressing about what he's experienced in the last couple of last couple of years and whatnot and everything, which is dope. But it's just, it doesn't feel like a whole project to me. It just felt like it was a compilation. You know what I mean? Especially with that fucking freestyle, which was crazy. But you know what I mean? He has a decent amount of features on it. I did appreciate the skits, the one with like
Erykah Badu,
Dave Chappelle, and Stevie Wonder. I thought those were dope. But yeah, it's like 22 tracks on the 21 tracks. It's a lot of goddamn songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, I think I'm on the opposite end of that because I thought I was listening to and I was working out, and I'm the type of person that will listen to a song all the way through before I pick out what tracks I like or before I can even give you a name of a song that's my favorite.
Yeah.
And I may do that a few times before I can still pick out specific songs. But I thought it had a nice flow to it in regards, like it didn't make me think twice about what I was doing or just like there weren't any hiccups to where I was like, oh, something's off or, it's just the energy. But I think it is a consistent body of work and it matches up at least with this last two, maybe even three. I don't remember. I feel like the first two were like, hey, look at me, I made it. Maybe even the first three shit. But after that, I think it got more serious. And then I think his brand leveled up. Everything about what he's done has leveled up. And now when I think of his brand, it's up there in this brand. I think it's up there with the J. Cole's and those guys. But it's obviously J. Cole speaks for like J. Cole's more Black Lives Matter and kind of promotes stuff like that. Whereas I don't really hear Big Sean outside of the music doing that. And I also don't follow him, but there is something about J. Cole where he has I think it's just a bigger voice.
Yeah.
And Big Sean is like, that's what he's missing if he really wanted to be. I think he's around that table. I don't know if he's at that table, but as long as he continues to put out consistent work, and I think the last 2-3 projects have been pretty consistent. You can't deny that he's up there somewhere. Maybe like, maybe not A, maybe A-, B+, but he's up there somewhere.
Yeah. He's definitely talented. And I don't want to take it. The album is dope. There's a bunch of tracks on there. I just felt like this is not the one that's going to be like, okay.
It's not a classic.
Yeah, it's not.
No, far from that.
I think he may have like a project or two before we experience that. And I think that comes with experience. Like you were saying, the first couple of albums, it was, we have yet to see the best of Big Sean. Absolutely.
I think he's going to continue to, like now he has this really dope brand that's leveled up. It's like, all right, now match it with something that's just out of the park. Hit something out of the park. But to your point, a replay, and we obviously listen to music differently because I don't like, I'll go through an album once if I even get to it, and that'll be it, even if it's really dope, because I have a list of things I listen to throughout the week and it's all calculated and scheduled. And from our podcast, re-listening to that to the drops of Group Chat and JBP. And then now I'm putting out more mixes. So it's hard for me to give replay value to anything. But the last time I really replayed something over and over was probably the Sid album in 2016. Like she bought it. I can go back and listen to it now and be like, oh my God.
Just her album or the whole internet album?
Just her. Internet album's dope.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but the Sid album,
there
was something just captivating about that album that I just loved replaying over and over.
Yeah.
Sean, what were your thoughts?
I will say I loved
Sean.
it. I could say I loved
Sean.
it. I know. I am Big Sean now with the braids for real.
Boy.
I did. I really enjoyed it. I do think after going back, I kind of second real sentiment. It's a little lackluster at certain parts, but I think that's just production that I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
Like that Batter track, I didn't really like that one. But other than that, I mean, yeah, he can rap.
He can rap his ass off.
Oh my goodness, he can rap, man.
That's what I'm saying. When he puts it all together, usually rapping's the hardest part.
And he was painting a picture. He was telling a story, and I think that's what I enjoyed more than like saying like, all right, this is the album, But yeah.
And even though it was usually when something's so like it's Detroit heavy, right? Usually when something is so heavy that I don't really think of, I'm not turned off. I'm just like, I'm good. But I really appreciated how he was putting on and just continue to stay focused on that narrative because it gives it like, how often do you hear a story within an album? It's rare these days, right? You gotta wait for a Kendrick album to drop to really hear a story.
Freddie Gibbs, man.
I would like. That's what I was gonna say. I
got through half of that. I never got back to, and that's another problem.
I would like to see. I would like to see him do something like what Freddie Gibbs did with Alchemist or what Nas did with Hit Boy.
Maybe he's missing purpose. Maybe maybe Big Sean's missing purpose. I think if you have
Like Justin Bieber?
not quite, but I think if he has more of a purpose behind the whole body, like the whole album, the whole project,
Yeah.
that might be the thing that's missing. I'm not saying artists need that, but that might be the thing that takes him to the next level. Is like more of a story within the album, to really, I don't know,
Shit,
take
sometimes taking too long to work on something, you notice, that'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
you.
Because you overthinking it, and then now he
Well,
took like 4 years.
But then there's expectations.
Exactly,
and then,
that too.
So
Yeah.
you might be, this album is probably better than a good amount of albums that have come out.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely.
because it's Big Sean, and I think the other thing that is really evident, I would say maybe on the production side, you didn't have the sounds that you wanted to hear, but I do think the quality of the album sounds
right, of
really
course.
rich.
Yeah.
Like,
of course.
just
Hit Boy bodied it.
Yeah.
Hit Boy bodied it.
yeah, for sure. And I think I enjoyed that part of it, just like the fact that it just sounded good.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily the content or it's not relatable as much for me, as far as the topics go. Like when I think of Big Sean, unfortunately now, like I think more of him and Jenna's like situation,
Yeah, right.
because that's at the forefront of it all, the relationship side of it. But I don't know.
Solid project overall.
I'll
would
listen
say
to
that.
it again.
For
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
I mean, I've listened to it a bunch of times.
Yeah,
you
me
know,
too.
I just go back just to see if I can form a different opinion.
Yeah.
And I do that with a lot of music. But like I said, I mean, I'm sure I'll listen to it for another week or two, something like that. But I don't think a month, for me personally, I don't think in a month I'm going to be listening to it.
It'll be
that
in
often.
rotation. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll probably be a couple of tracks that I throw into a playlist or something like that. Or
Yeah. What
know.
tracks are you playing on your stream?
Zen the fuck out.
Zen the fuck out for real. That shit
sure.
goes hard. Yo, the first two he came in
Why
hot.
would I stop? Yeah.
Why would I stop?
Why would I stop?
I'll put
is
that on my
hard.
mix in the for what you call it, the MikiDz show on
MikiDz Radio.
MikiDz Radio.
radio. Excuse me. There's too much shit going
DJ
on.
Rel, welcome back to the podcast.
Too much shit going on,
That
man.
burger fucking with him.
Man, it is.
Yo, with the wrong fuel in our body got us
real.
fucked up. My
The
bad.
MikiDz radio, yeah. But I
MikiDz,
think
McDonald.
those
I don't
two
know.
for sure. Lucky Me. I'm not a huge fan of the one with Young Thug, but I can hear that out. Like I can hear that when we outside. If we were to be outside in like a week or two, I can hear that. I personally it's cool. I'm not mad at it, but I can definitely hear it out.
I really like Lithuania.
Oh yeah.
Not just because of Travis, but
Yeah.
that beat is stupid.
I wish Travis would have jumped on
Oh, the other one.
the one that he did the ad-libs on.
Is that in the fuck
That's
out?
in the fucked out.
It
Yeah.
is that one, yeah.
Yeah.
So, moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
we're all in relationships here.
Correct.
Everybody loves their significant others.
Yes, I do.
Say it loud and say it proud.
Every time I can.
My
Yeah.
man,
I love
my man
you.
is open. All right, cool. That was nobody falling down. We all love our significant others, and none of us are married yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Real quick, who's the first? Well, you're the first one to get married. I guess that's out there.
Who's the first one to get married?
Rel's the first one to get married.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say real quick who's gonna be the first one to divorce. I was about to say, bro, that ain't the way to do this.
This is not the
Cut
editor.
that
Different
shit
way to
out.
present this.
The picture he posted is
What?
still the funniest thing. I have it in my phone.
The what?
Joe posted a picture, and it was me, Rel, and him, and our significant others. Sam was the only one that's still around.
Yo,
And his caption was, "This is gonna be funny 5 years from now."
This is
we
great.
are not with those significant others no more.
So with that being said,
Last man standing.
yeah,
Last man standing.
man, listen.
So with that being said, how do we feel? And some of our significant others listen to this, some don't. How do we feel about prenups?
Listen, man, this is a whole different
Listen,
tax bracket.
I'm gonna say this. If I'm gonna marry her,
This is a safe space.
Listen, if I'm choosing to marry her, I don't need no prenup. You know what I'm saying? If that's in the back of my mind, like if that's like I might need a prenup with this chick, then I'm like, I'm not marrying you.
But it's out of your control if she goes crazy.
What you mean?
If she just starts, if
she starts going crazy, I would have to assume that I have to play some part in that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna she's just gonna be out of the blue, just go fucking crazy.
What if she was just waiting for you to get married, and then now that you're locked down, she can go crazy?
I mean, I ain't got nothing to take anyway, so fuck it.
Okay, so maybe different scenario. We may not all be at the level of this current topic.
Yeah.
But if you were, significantly well off financially,
yeah,
and you love your bride to be.
Listen, let me go back to your point. If she's that good at hiding that shit from you, because
she deserves it.
She fucking deserves it. And I'm gonna sign her ass up for acting classes and get out there and get a job.
Two things come to mind. Opposite sides of the spectrum. If I'm a billionaire, or if I have close to $1 billion like Dr. Dre, I'm thinking I really love this girl, and I want to support her, and it just didn't work out with us. But I understand she's adapted to a specific lifestyle, and sure, I can just say go back to living a normal 9-to-5 life, but I understand that. She wants to live the way I've kind of groomed her to live. So yeah, I'll kick her a couple million a month or whatever, just so she can maintain. Because I got $1 billion. What's a couple million to me, right? And then on the other side of this,
every month, my nigga.
And then on the other side of that spectrum is I'm a billionaire, right? The only girls that are attracted to me as a billionaire that just jumped onto this billionaire train or my millionaire train, basically the ones that weren't day ones when I was broke, the only ones that are jumping are usually interested in me for not one thing, but a few things. And money is definitely one of those things, right? Because they want a sense of security. They want to be safe. That's why you see hot girls with ugly rich dudes. So I got to understand the game that she's playing to set up a sense of security for herself moving on for the rest of her life. Now, if I think she's one of those girls, but we just have an amazing time together and, we really vibe out, but I feel she's one of those girls that I'm probably not going to do the prenup, and I'm just going to be like, well, you're on your own if it doesn't work out.
But that's what I'm saying. My thing is, yo, oh my God, the girl, if you were a chick, you be like, yo, we gonna hustle. If a chick is basically what you with your example you were saying, right? She's with you because she sees the money. You know what I mean? She wants to live this luxurious lifestyle and whatnot, or whatever. So you already know from jump, shorty, she's useless. I say that with all due respect.
All due respect, allegedly.
Yeah. Right? And when I say she's useless, meaning that she's not out there getting her own, y'all are not in some sort of y'all are not treating it more like a
Tommy's
partnership.
girl. And she's like Tommy's girl, Belly.
Exactly.
She's sitting home flipping through magazines.
Exactly.
All right.
You know what? If you decide to settle down with a chick like that, knowing that, then you deserve, if y'all split and you didn't sign a prenup, you deserve for her to take everything of all your shit. That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, if you go into a situation where you got a hustler, right? You got a hustler and y'all are building together, whatever it is, y'all are building together, y'all getting shit together done, you know what I'm saying? She's doing her thing, you're doing your thing, and you just happen to make you edge her a little bit on the financial side. So let's say y'all split. I got no problem being like, all right, cool. I didn't sign a prenup.
We built this together.
His 10 million turning into 50 million. Because I know you're going to do it because you're a hustler.
Right. Like Bezos' wife.
So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it like, all right, cool. If I'm with someone that is my partner, is my teammate, we're building some shit together, I don't personally feel like I need the prenup. You know what I'm saying? But if I know for a fact that shorty's just with me for the money and layman's terms.
Look, if I give her a year, if I have Dre's money, and this is funny, I'll get into the list, but
we'll get it. Yeah,
I give her a year. I'll give you X amount for a year. You got to figure yourself out. This will make you. This is good for you. This is healthy for you to figure out and be creative. Start your own business. Do what you got to do because I love you and we have this partnership and you've been by my side through whatever thinketh in and list of things. cool, I'm not just going to drop you off on the street like that.
Yeah, no, of course.
So
not.
I'm going to give you a couple million a month for the next year. And with that 24 million, you figure it out. But it stops after that.
And you wouldn't have to worry about it because you know, all right, you give her 24, 25 million, she's going to flip that shit.
See,
And also, before you get into that list, just observing these millionaires, like, they don't give a fuck that these girls are after their money. They're like, you know what? It's fun. I got a couple $100,000 to throw around to take her. Like, I got the money. It's just, I'm having a good time. Like, so it's worth a couple racks or it's worth 10, 20,000. Who cares?
And
like,
again,
I'm cool with that.
I'm not opposed to that, but are you marrying these chicks?
No, that's a difference. But you also have to know in that lifestyle, things don't last. You get bored and you say, all right, I'm like there. I just heard on another pod, this guy, old as fuck, he's like 80 something, who divorced his wife because she was supposed to guarantee in the contract written out that she signed, she had to have sex with him 4 times a week. And she was like 30.
How old was she?
She was like 30, 40 years younger than him. So she's not like, she's no spring
pushing like
chicken.
50.
He's 80 something.
She's no spring chicken, but she's like
Poor
still
woman.
capable. Because she didn't satisfy that contract, he divorced her. I don't know if she got a cut of anything, but she's at the door. So that's what I'm saying. These older guys, they just like, they come and go with these girls and they don't give a fuck.
They treat it like a business.
And the girl has to like understand what they're also getting into. So you can't be surprised when he gets
his
bored.
Day one.
Pimpin'?
This is Dr. Dre's day one.
Yeah.
I thought he was with someone else before.
I thought he was too.
I think this is day one.
So
I
he
think
has.
it's been like since the 90s at least.
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
She's been with. Well, no, he didn't have a girlfriend with NWA.
He had a baby mama.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
The baby mama.
I'm pretty sure that's her.
Nah, that's
No,
not his baby mama. I don't think
I
that's
thought
his baby
this
mama.
girl came later in
Google
the late
it.
90s, but I might be confusing with like Michael Jordan or something.
Look, if I have a billion, right? Before the wedding, before the discussion, and this goes back to who's the dude on the podcast with Matt Barnes? Not Al Harrington. Stack.
Yeah.
If you
Steven
hear his
Jackson.
story
Yeah.
about his marriage and how he canceled his wedding before walking out to the altar because his wife wouldn't sign the prenup, like, you got to go listen to that story. But what I'm saying is, if I got $1 billion, right, just one, okay, that's all I need.
Shit, give me half that.
Look, if I got $1 billion, for the sake of the story, before the wedding, I'm sending $10 million into your bank account, right? And you're signing this prenup. Right out the gate, that's on you.
Yeah.
Build your empire. I will support you. Fund it. Provide my team. Whatever. You have resources to everything and everyone to do it right out the gate. But you can't say that you don't have access. That's for whatever you want to do. I'll still buy you the gifts. I'll still pay for everything else. But right out the gate, we ain't gonna talk about it no more.
Another thing, if I'm obviously still in this situation, she has to have faith that if something were to go wrong, it's because I was crazy wilding or you were crazy wilding, right? Because you could never imagine anything going wrong with your fiance, right? I can't imagine anything going wrong with Sam, right? So something crazy.
I identify her by name, just for clarity.
Something crazy has to happen.
You can't say girlfriend after you said fiance.
So he's trying to stun on me. This flex.
Nah, he's just like, bitch, I'm watching you.
Something crazy has to happen for us to divorce. So
Cut her plans.
clearly, I'm not dealing with the same person mentally. You are a different person, right? Not the same person I was in a relationship. Physically, yes, but mentally, emotionally, or just whatever character exists within you, not the same person. So I will give you this. I will, instead of doing the whole prenup thing, which is essentially like a prenup, I will give you X amount, which is probably a lot less, because I don't want to see you just in the street. So I'll give you less than $2 million, and we'll leave it at that. Because again, in order for
Are you saying you're giving her $2 million at the divorce, or like when you guys signed the prenup?
no, after the divorce, like I'm not just going to leave you in the cold.
Okay.
I'll give you, because I see.
No, there's something due back for sure. I don't think we disagree on that.
Right.
What we're trying to get to, and let's just get to this because we've been kind of dancing around it within our own personal desires. But Nicole Young, who's divorcing Dr. Dre, is requesting that she has a monthly expense list that adds up to 1.9. Well, let's just say $1,936,399 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the breakdown.
Wow.
$10,000 a month in laundry cleaning. Laundry and cleaning, sorry. So, kitchen, big house, all the clothes, maybe
Do your own goddamn laundry.
her kids' clothes. She needs $135,000 a month on clothes. If you're cleaning your other clothes, why do you need new clothes? And why that much clothes?
Listen.
Got places to go, man. Even in a quarantine.
But again, because she's accustomed to a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
Education, tuition, and living expenses are $60,000 a
I'm
month.
like, what school is she going to?
I mean, a nice one.
Is that for her or is that for the
Never
kids?
too
Why
young
is
to
she going to
start,
school?
guys. Don't
Them
judge.
Zoom classes be hitting.
Yeah, they've been together for 24 years.
I'm gonna leave this one for.
96.
Wow.
I'm gonna leave this next one.
Okay, so she came after the success.
So I'm gonna leave this one for after. Charitable contributions, $125,000 a month.
Give your own way. Give away your own money.
Okay, so I'll write a check to whoever you need me to write a check
Right.
to.
That's who that's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, directly. Mortgage, $100,000 a month. All right. It's probably the crib in Malibu. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to the other one because this one I think is a crazy one.
This shit wild. My
Entertainment, $900,000 a month.
That's
bitch,
half.
what are you doing?
That's half.
What is entertainment?
How much is Netflix?
What does fall? What are you doing? First of all, why is the entertainment cost the most out of everything?
Look, I can subscribe to every OnlyFans profile and still not run up $900,000
Yeah, that's just, yeah.
$900,000
with the premium content.
What? I need to know. She got to break that. I need subcategories like entertainment. Like what?
Yeah,
That's
all private jets.
her entertainment might be trips to Mykonos.
And this could be the best one.
It's still not $900,000.
Telephone. Who the fuck has a landline? Cell phone.
Landline.
And email. Bro,
20,000.
the highest version of Gmail still free.
Right.
The premium
Oh my
She's
god.
clearly building a
is
case.
$20,000 a month.
But but do you think she's building a good case for her?
Look, a wise man once told me, once you start your marriage with someone, you're at the beginning point of building your case against the other person.
In all, she says she actually has a monthly nut of $2.5 million a month.
Now,
so that's
again, because
1.9
we
on
don't
top
know,
of 2.
we know
25.
because we don't know exactly the ins and outs of their relationship,
Which makes this great because we can just talk all the shit.
right.
we want.
Yeah, because we don't know the ins and outs of the relationship, and she
Right.
claims stuff like he verbally abused her. I think he flashed a gun a couple of times, and allegedly.
Right.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
You know what I mean?
Good job. There you go. Legal.
So, and
Beatsource legal.
I'm gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, she's crazy." I don't want to be like. It just seems a little bit wild to act her breakdown just seems a little wild. You know what I mean? Like,
It's the lawyers telling her this. We gotta throw everything at the wall, and then we'll just roll with whatever sticks.
I get it. So aim high, and then
It's her
settle.
lawyers doing the talking.
You'll settle.
It's always the lawyers that are trying to convince you to. No, that's all you're getting? Oh
What?
no,
You're gonna
girl.
say $2 million,
And
even
she
though
requested the $5 million to cover the lawyers.
Oh yeah,
I
she
know
did.
you have somebody. Oh yeah, Marco said it. Said men have to pay the divorce fees in California.
The men do.
Yeah.
That's sexist. What if the woman makes the most money?
Man,
If the
all
woman is the
out
one
here
tripping.
for a pimp.
What the fuck? That's fucked up. Listen,
Yeah.
Could be fake.
I feel
news,
for
but-
Dre, man.
I see, like, even though he's fighting it because it's probably not even so much about the money at this point, it's just
Right.
about getting
'Cause
the
he's
upper
got it.
hand. I really feel like inside he's just like, fuck it, it's $2 million. Who gives a shit? $2 million for the next year, like whatever. Every month for the next year.
Here, you know
I
what?
think
You
it's for
keep
the
saying
next
next
year.
year. You keep saying.
No,
that.
I'm just saying you
Yeah, I know.
can create whatever one you
It's
want.
24 million for the year.
Forever.
Yeah.
No, No, she's got to go out and be creative.
No,
Be an
yeah, now you
influencer.
gotta switch sides, goddamn it.
No, she's got to be an influencer. 24
Something,
million
yeah.
for a year. Figure it out. Come
She
on,
can
man.
get a podcast, sir, handing them out left and right.
Yeah, come on.
Spotify will take you in cheap.
$900,000 for entertainment,
Man,
bro.
that's the NBA player
What are you
salary.
talking
That's a
about?
2-year contract at one of these teams.
I get entertained with $900 maybe a monthly.
900.
My nigga, $900 for entertainment, yo.
It's
Oh,
nothing
my
to
God.
him. It's nothing to him.
You keep saying that,
Look, man. I seen what I seen. It's nothing
but
to
that don't
these
mean
guys.
he don't. That don't mean he want to give it away.
Bro,
Right,
All
that's
the
what
rich
that-
people
that-
I know cheap
Look
as
at
hell.
your why, go to your statement every month and see 2 million come
No,
out
I
of
know.
there.
I know where I stand and I know where they stand. I'm just saying what I've seen. It means nothing to a lot of these guys. And sometimes they're just like, just save me the headache. Just take the money, get the fuck
So why
out.
settle it? Why have this shit all in the tabloids and shit like that? Like, why not just fucking
Because,
settle
Yeah,
it?
he
Hey,
ain't with it.
listen,
Because if
you
he
want 2 million,
was, this
bitch?
would have been
Here.
a done deal. We would have never heard about it.
Like maybe not 2 million, but I'm sure he's just like, just take whatever. Like not 2 million, but try fight it. I don't care.
He
I'm
has
over
a
it.
closet
Do what you can. You're my lawyer.
with
I'm paying
just
you.
Air Force One.
You're on a retainer. Just,
crispy white.
This nigga is not giving his money away. Nobody is giving their money away. I don't.
he's giving
believe it.
something away.
I mean, he has to.
Obviously, it's not
Yeah.
2 million because he's fighting
gonna
it, but he's
see.
giving something away.
We gonna see. Divorce court.
As long as she keeps her mouth
Divorce
shut. You
court.
saw what happened to Chris Brown's baby mama. She started talking shit, and the judge was like, "All right, whatever you were gonna get,
Well, she's
chop it down to 500."
Yeah, she's a little off her shit though.
Yeah. As long as she keeps her mouth shut.
Right.
Well,
Anyway.
listen.
Don't get married. In
Hey.
California. In California.
You better watch what you say.
Both
my
you
brother.
and I are engaged.
But I'm not getting married in California.
yeah.
Where you getting married?
Ah,
Not in
We
California.
I'm not giving my
Go to Lake
secrets away.
Tahoe and skip the cross. The
Hey,
where
right over
California
the
meets
border.
Nevada.
Right over the border.
You sure you don't want to get married in Arizona? It's got some nice beach houses out
Erica
there.
doesn't listen to the pod, so I'm good.
But
Guess who?
just in
Hey,
case you love her.
you might want to skip to the hour
edited
mark.
it. You edited it around
listen,
here, though.
yeah, you might want to listen to this one. Sean was active on this one.
Boy, Sean really shined on this episode.
She might, oh,
I hope
see,
you're editing
babe.
the pod right now and you're listening to this when you're editing the video out loud.
And I always do it with headphones.
She did
smart.
catch something, didn't she?
smart.
Didn't she catch wind of something? You were editing or making a clip.
I don't know. I forgot. Yeah, it was one
She had
time
something
though.
to
Yeah,
say.
yeah. Always.
Oh, yeah. NDA.
Oh yeah,
NBA.
yeah. Jordan Woods. Yeah.
No, I said NBA.
We didn't need to say her name
NBA.
again,
We were talking
Sean.
about sports, babe.
Do you see where the problem is going?
Bleep it.
Nah, I want Jordan Woods to hear it.
Wow.
Speaking of Jordan Woods, the Kardashians are done.
Oh yeah.
The Trumps are going to take over.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. The Trump's
Not-
in the next reality show.
Not
You watching
tuning
that
in.
though?
No, no. I don't right now, I keep
No.
up with the Trumps because I like what's going on in the world. After November 3rd, I do not plan to keep up
What
with
if
the
he wins
Trumps.
for a second term?
God help us all.
You watching season
Lord.
2, huh?
Canada looks nice, bro.
I gotta.
I'm going to Mars. Fuck that.
This nigga.
Put me on.
Oh my god.
Elon, what's good?
Elon looks good. Send me.
Just send me.
Full
Watchmen.
send.
Man.
Yeah. So it's a wrap for the Kardashians. Look, man, 20 years in the league.
That's a long time.
That's like I look at it like that. They had
God
20
bless them.
seasons and just
They should have wrapped this shit up a decade ago.
They did
Let's be real.
what they did, and
Thank God for E.
Courtney was trying to quit a minute ago, and the only reason why I know that is because Erica was watching it, and I happened to catch an episode.
look at him so defensive. Take your armor off,
Hey,
man. You're in a safe place.
All 20,
You're in a safe place. Take
all
the
20
bulletproof vest
seasons.
off.
He's like, all 20 seasons are on Hulu.
And if you guys want to rewatch it with me, and order some pizza, we can start with season 1 on Hulu.
Listen, it's not Sex in the City, all right? We could watch that. You feel me?
Hey, Sex
But
and the City was good.
it's funny.
I was alright with that. Yeah, let's do sex.
So who are we? Who's who?
Oh,
Wait, on what?
God.
On Sex in the City?
No.
Not doing this.
No. We're not doing that. No, we're not doing
Not
that.
doing that.
We're not doing this.
Sean's
definitely-
can create more of a case of being a hoe. So
Whoa, what?
Not the,
who's the cute petite friend?
That's what I said to the podcast. We done.
Sean is definitely the whole.
No, who was the youngest one?
The little one, right? The tiny one?
Yeah, the brunette, right?
He's a red hair.
The stuck up one, right?
No, she's super nice, but she's like square, like
Yeah, stuck up square.
Oh yeah. But yeah. Didn't she try to run for like governor? Yeah, the one
That
that tried to run for
Joe would
governor.
do.
I would not. That's far from what I would do. That couldn't be in the same vicinity of what I would do.
Speaking of Kardashians, sports
Hey,
transitions.
a hell of a transition.
See that?
See what I'm talking about?
Shit, man, we just saw the Toronto pull one. I mean, they got heart. When I see Toronto, I think of like obviously Kyle Lowry's on the
Raptors
team.
for Edwin.
Right, the Raptors can't
Basketball Edwin.
team in Canada. Kyle Lowry is like defines what the Raptors are. They just got heart.
Yeah,
like
heart,
Kyle Lowry,
yeah.
if he's in the West, he doesn't make the All Stars. There's always that conversation.
Sure.
But I feel because of his, for lack of better words, disadvantage, man, he just exudes so much heart, and it just represents
He showed
what
up,
the
man.
team is. Yeah.
And I wanted to just look up really quickly since we're here live.
Who you guys think will be in the finals?
Clippers taking the 3-1 lead. So it sounds like the Clippers will see the Lakers in the finals. I mean, the
Semis.
Western Conference Finals.
Semis, yeah.
Who's winning that?
Which one?
Who's winning Clippers versus Lakers? Let's
Clippers.
talk about it.
Oh, no.
Clippers.
I do think the Clippers are the better team. Do I think they're going to win? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what, man? I don't know if you guys have caught the Clippers last couple of games. Yo, it's clear as day. Because we were talking about Miami. Miami looks.
Hey, Miami was the best
Man.
team. Like they're probably going to come out of the East.
Their chemistry right now, they're on fire right now.
It's
Like
dangerous.
it's
Tyler Hero is nice.
Woo! Boy, I'm
Yes.
trying to tell you. Listen, the Clippers, yo, you could tell there's some turmoil in that goddamn locker room. Like
Maybe.
you can tell.
First year with each other.
If you look,
Between Doc and PG.
everybody, shit, even Kawhi and PG, I think, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Why ain't talking to nobody?
Yeah, but Paul George did admit to going through mental issues, being in the bubble, and just having a hard time adapting. And there's depression, there's anxiety,
That's
and he said
understandable.
that's played into it. Which was when people talk like that, you kind of have to take them at their word
yeah,
because it's not something you want to play around with. But maybe there is something more than that between each other. I think the way I see the Clippers is you got a job, you got a job, you got a job. Everyone
Go
do their
do it.
job, cool.
Cool.
Nothing
Right.
else needs to be said.
exactly.
Like, and Kawhi's not the verbal type,
Yeah,
and Patrick's gonna probably be the verbal guy on the team. And that's all coming from heart. That's not a flex or me, I'm better than you, or I get paid more than you. That's just coming from heart.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like Kawhi's coming out of his shell a little more. Do you recall that play where he gave up the ball to one of the younger cats and he goes, I didn't give you the ball to do that.
oh yeah, he damn
Like
sure
the
did
layup.
say
see,
that shit.
that's good because that's like the Jordan shit, where it's just
Right.
like, yo, stop fucking up and do your job.
Right.
Do your goddamn
Just
job,
do-
If you want to see the ball again,
yeah.
stop fucking up.
I didn't pass you the ball to do
Doc.
that.
Get him out of here.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
Anyway. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else?
We good. We mentioned the Cactus Jack. We mentioned that whole thing. The last time, you guys know, the last time McDonald's did a collab?
Besides
Michael
the
Jordan.
scammy Monopoly one?
Yeah. Yeah, it was Jordan. 92, the Jordan. Well, I don't even know what the burger was, but it was probably just a regular Big Mac. But yeah, man. So that really
I don't know,
speaks
man.
to
We've been doing the McGangbang in the hood for days.
gangbanging.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Sure don't.
Something tells me
It's a
McDonald's isn't advertising that.
No, not quite. No, it's a McChicken inside of a McDouble.
Oh,
Oh.
And you just, your own shit. You do your own.
Who named that?
yeah.
I don't know, man. I just, grew up in the valley.
All right, and globalizations. We shout out to Cleveland Terry.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, really enjoyed that mix. He was all over the place in a good way, of course. And next, we got Audio One, our guy, everyone's favorite DJ.
Yep, your
Super
DJ's favorite
Mario.
DJ.
Your DJ's favorite DJ. Vibes all day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And yeah, man, it's a wrap here. We're done.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.